Welcome to the Carl Latting Show. My name is Carl Latting, the lifestyle architect, where my mission is to help you and I create the lives that we want to live the most. Thanks for clicking in today. Today's title of our show today is Bring On the Problems. Bring them all on. And we'll talk about what that means here in a moment. Our quote of the day comes from internet guru Ty Lopez, who says that you can't outwork your problems, you have to outthink them. So hold on a minute. What does that mean? Let's talk about that. You know, I'm 47 years old, so I'm a Gen Xer. I was raised when our parents, our elders, they told us, look, go to school, get a job, work hard, and then live a good life. Well, a lot of things change in the economy and in the world, but still today, in this tech-driven world that we live in, where we've moved from a muscle-based economy to an economy that is more mind-based. It's not so much about how physically strong you are anymore. It's about how good you are in utilizing your mind, your expertise, your education to be able to solve problems for some organization that's going to yield you the most results or benefit. Now, when it comes to life, the lives that we live, if we're going to do well financially and economically, in our relationships, whatever, we have to get good at dealing with problems. But many of us, like myself, we think about problems as something we have to overpower. Like if I just get aggressive about it, if I can just do something that is going to take my energy or my yelling, raising my voice, all those kinds of things. If I just attack it, that I should be able to solve it. Well, that's not how problems are solved now, is it? Right? Is it about just working hard to outwork these problems? We know that's not the truth. I mean, that bears itself out on a regular basis. I live in Las Vegas, and so in the summertime, you can see people who are in construction or working on the roads who are working hard, bearing the heat of the day. Roofers, construction people, guys who are doing HVAC. A lot of houses in Las Vegas have the AC units on the roof. And so these guys are up there working hard, sweating to bring comfort to the people who are paying them. But does that necessarily yield them the kind of results that somebody who works that hard should get? And I think the answer that we know to that is no. And so we've been told then, if you're not going to, that it's not about just working hard, you got to work smart. So now people are saying, okay, I'm going to work smart. So we look to accumulate a lot of information. And we live in the information age where information is coming at us like a fire hose, whether it's social media, whether it's TV, internet, you name it. There's all this information that is flowing to you. So now we struggle to figure out which information has the most veracity, what is true, and what is usable. So it's just not enough to know a lot of stuff, because I know guys who are super successful in terms of they're fulfilling their life's purpose, they're fulfilling their mission, and they're being compensated well, and they don't know a lot. But what they do know, they know well, and they know how to apply that. So just to know stuff and not apply it and use it for your benefit is not enough. So if it's not just work hard, if it's not just work smart, what is it? According to Ty Lopez, you have to be able to outthink your problems. And I agree with that. We have to be able to sit with our problems and attack them mentally from every different angle that we can and play it out like a chess game to figure out what is the next move. I had a guy when I was a young guy coming up, and maybe 19, 20 in college, and there was an older guy, mentor at church. He said to me, he said, Carl, you got to ask yourself, and then what? Right? To play it out in your mind, meaning that if it had to do with a young lady who you were attracted to, and then what? Oh, I'll go talk to her. Okay, and then what? Well, if I like her and she likes me, I'll get her phone number. And then what? Well, I'll invite her out for a date or, lunch or something like that. Okay, and then what? Well, then if we have fun, we'll do it again. And then what? Then, well, maybe I'll kiss her. We'll become physical. And then what? You see, if you play the and then what game, you'll start to realize quickly, maybe I shouldn't even start this thing if it's not going to end where I would like it to go, or end where I would like it to end, or get the results that I think that it should get. So I agree with Ty that, hey, let's not look to outwork our problems. Let's begin to use our brains and figure out how to outthink these problems. And so, like I said, the title of today's show is Bring on the Problems. And when I say bring them on, I mean bring them all on. And that sounds crazy because, problems, we all have them, right? Some of us have more problems than others, but I'm beginning to notice, especially this week, I was at the gym and I was working out. And as my text messages were coming in and phone calls were coming in, and I was, swiping left like, hey, I'm not going to answer this right now. Because some of the calls, I could look at the name and it's like, well, what do they want? What is this going to cost me? Because you start to figure out, I'm 47 years old. As a man, you know what life is? It's how well do you deal with problems? Because as a man, the people in your life, they expect you to be able to handle problems. That's it. You're filling orders, filling requests. People are calling. They're asking you to attend functions. They're asking you to donate money. They're asking you to provide, to show up, to solve their problems. And that's what life is. And so when I thought about it, I said, well, wow. Maybe the key to this thing is to stop trying to avoid the problems, challenges, barriers, difficulty, and instead of turning around and looking to go the other way or figure a way around them or to avoid them, maybe the answer is to go towards them, to embrace them, to accept them. Could it be that the life that I want to live and that you want to live is on the other side of your ability to increase your adeptness at handling and solving problems? Let that sit with you for a minute. Because when we think about all the diets that are out there, when we think about self-help books, 5 steps to a millionaire, 7 steps to the best marriage, 3 steps to this, basically what they're trying to tap into is they know you don't want to do the work. They know you don't want to experience the pain. And so they phrase it in such a way to make you think that you can get that result without going through or doing the work that has to be done. When the truth is, as the fitness guru, Wes Watson says, he says, it ain't about how to get something done or how to achieve what you want to achieve in life. The real question is who? Are you the type of person? Have you done the work and built within yourself the type of individual who can execute on any number of plans or take any number of paths or routes to success, but will you see it through or will you quit? When things get rough, will you stop? Or do you have within you the stick-to-itiveness, the perseverance? Have you made up in your mind that I'm willing to accept the pain if I have to be forged in the pain to become who I need to be in order to do and to be and to have what I want to have? Can I be consistent? It's who, it's not how. And so that's what I'm seeing here is that bring me the problems then. Ooh, that sounds crazy, doesn't it? I'll be honest with you. Even saying it right there the way I said it, there is 10% of me that's like, hold on, Carl, are you sure? And I'm 47. Yes, I'm sure. I've run long enough from problems. I've looked for enough books and courses trying to figure out, well, how do I get out of this? But the real answer is no, go to it and go through it and endure it and think while you're there so that that problem never has mastery over you. That problem you never have to deal with. Could it be that life is just a series of problems that God brings to you? And for us to go to the next level, to graduate, you got to pass the test. And so until you pass a test or solve the problem that's before you, you don't go up any higher. And the fact that we have these desires, whether it be, material things, we know that they don't bring happiness, yet at the same time, there's things that we would just like to have. There's vacations that you would just like to take. If you don't take it, will it kill you? No, it won't. Will it kill you if you don't have that pair of shoes or that certain car or that certain house? No, it'll be all right. But it'd also be nice to have. And so the thing is, what about those things pulls you that way or draws you in that direction? There's something on the inside that just kind of tickles you and plays with you and says, you could really have this. You could really own this. You could really do this if you were willing to pay the price. And this desire is not going to go away. It'll be with you for the rest of your life. The question is, will you make up your mind at some point to go through what you have to go through? So bring on the problems. I got a video that I want to watch with you guys, and tell me what you think. This is by a best-selling author named Mark Manson. He wrote the book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F. Really good book, easy read. He does a lot of stuff on YouTube. I follow him. Let's take a look at what he has to say here. Mark Manson.
Nobody is going to save you. Nobody is going to make it easy for you. Nobody can live your life for you, endure your pain for you, choose your struggles for you. Nobody can experience the growth that comes from loss for you. Nobody can build your confidence through 1,000 tiny failures for you. Nobody can lie awake crying about some inconsolable loss that hurts so much it creates a bottomless pit of emptiness for you. Nobody can learn the lessons for you, rebuild the pieces for you, gain the strength for you, find the confidence for you, earn the rewards for you. Nobody can write your story for you. Nobody can tell you what it all meant. Nobody can make the impossible choices and live with the eternal consequences and suffer through indecision, doubt, and regret for you. You get to do that. You have the honor and privilege to suffer and overcome that suffering, only to suffer and overcome again and again and again. This is called being alive. It's called being human. And no, nobody else can do that for you either.
Woo! Listen, if that don't set you on fire, I don't know what does. Because a lot of what he's saying is kind of counterintuitive. Because from the time we come into this life, from the time that we're born, as a baby, if you're uncomfortable, if you're hungry, here comes that soothing voice from your mother and she feeds you. If you are uncomfortable because you are soiled, here comes that soothing voice and they take care of it for you. And so then as you're growing in age and anytime you don't like something, you just cry and yell and there's somebody who's always there to rub your back and say it's going to be okay. However, I think where all of our parents fail is that they never give us that bridge from, teenager, adolescent into adulthood that says what Mark just said. Nobody's going to save you. We did what we had to do to get you to this point. Now you have to develop the skills internally and mentally to deal with when things don't go your way, AKA you have a problem. You can't cry. You can, but it won't yield you anything. Some of us, we cry, we complain, we turn our faces up, and we have a tendency to always look for what's wrong. But maybe we have to look into the problem and find what's right and understand, just like when you go to the gym, it's the resistance of the weight that builds strength. It's the ability to endure the pain a little bit more this time that stretches us and makes us stronger to run a little bit further, to lift a little bit more, to sweat a little bit more. And then we also get the result that comes from that. Problems. Bring them on, all of them. What if tomorrow you wake up and instead of saying, "Thank you, Lord. You've been so good. You've been so awesome. I'm full of gratitude for all the things that I have." That part is good and those things are true. But what if we also say, "Thank you, Lord, for the problems. Thank you for the difficulty." As a matter of fact, Paul the apostle said this. He said, so I glory in my tribulations and in my trouble. He says this. He said that tribulation works in him patience, and patience works in him hope, and hope will never make any of us ashamed. And so if you're facing something that is a challenge, a barrier, or feels insurmountable, a problem that you don't have a solution to, maybe you just need to sit and think about it and endure some of the things that come along with that problem, but try, and I say try because this is new to me too, try to do it with a smile. Try to continue to shake hands and say good morning, good afternoon, good evening to your coworkers and your loved ones. Continue to function as if it's going to work out. To utilize some faith, just knowing that I'm going to figure this out. I don't have an answer yet, but I know it's on the way. I can tell you this at 47 years old, that every problem that I've ever had, I made it through. Every difficulty, every challenge, I always have. I'm here right now. I'm talking to you, and so have you. So the fact that we seem to buckle and want to quit and give up as if we don't keep winning, we're slated for victory. And so maybe the lesson here is that instead of running from the problem, let's dive into that thing. I'm convinced just today and through thinking about this week that what I want most in terms of the life that I want to live is on the other side of my problem. But to get there, it's not about going around it, over it, or avoiding it. It's going through it. Bring on the problems, all of them. Line them up beginning tomorrow. I'm waking up ready for a problem. Crazy, ain't it? It sounds that way, but I think this is the secret. I think this is what we've been missing. I think we should try this and see where it takes us and see where we go. I'm excited. Listen, there's so much that we have in terms of potential. There's so much that we have to offer the world. There's so much that we have already experienced that other people are going to be able to benefit from. It doesn't do us any benefit to not engage in life. You can't hide from it. The problems will find you wherever you are. There is no rock big enough for you to get under. You got to come out. Face the problem. Enjoy the problem. Tell yourself while you're in the problem that this is making me who I need to be. Why? So that when I get to the place that I want to be, I have the strength to maintain, sustain, and progress while I'm there. When others, we've all seen it, the people who win the lottery and then they're broke a year later. We've seen the star athletes or entertainers who we all know, and they admit that, hey, they had, tens and tens of millions of dollars and now it's all gone because they were never able to develop the character of self, the character of mind, to be able to do what needed to be done, to tell people no, to go to sleep, to wake up at the right time, to eat what you should eat and not eat what you shouldn't, to not put things in your body that are going to harm you. Things that we look for escape. Let's go to the problem. If your problem is your relationship, that's probably because you don't want to talk about some of the hard things that need to be talked about. Or you don't want to deal with the things about yourself that you don't want to change and you just want everybody else to deal with. If there's problems in your money, are you willing to work to pick up that second job or to read the book or learn the trade or go to class to develop a new skill that's going to be marketable? If the problem is weight, are you going to get the Ozempic shot? That's the hot thing right now. Apparently it works, but I got a feeling they're going to have some problems down the line. And here's my theory on that, is that if you are overweight, it's kind of like metadata or a big net. You can't help but get the nutrients you need because you can just luck up and get them because you're ingesting so much, right? But if the shot makes you stop eating, then now you have to be mindful to make sure that you get the actual nutrients that you need. And I wonder how many people are going to do that. If not, there's going to be a host of health issues that are going to come about, maybe not from the medication itself, but from the lack of nutrition that people don't get because they've never developed the habit of eating right. It's just a theory because it's a problem that people want solved. And I just don't believe in this life there's any shortcuts. I think anything that you want to have and that you want to keep, you're going to have to do it the quote unquote hard way. Somebody has the quote, I can't remember who it is, but there's no elevators to the top. We all got to take the stairs. It's like this universal truth or universal justice that has to be abided by, the righteousness of God, dare I say. I remember in college, there was like these credit cards that you could buy from these guys on campus where basically they would find receipts in the trash can and they found a way to put that credit card number onto a credit card that was yours, and then you could just go and spend and spend and spend. And so I had done that, and I had car radios and shoes and that kind of stuff. Till this day, I have no idea where any of that stuff is. I either lost it, somebody stole it from me, something happened to it, don't know. Why? There's a universal justice. You can't have it. It's not yours. You didn't earn it. You didn't pay for it, Carl. But think about yourself. What things did you cheat in life for or on? Was it a test? Was it a grade? I don't know. You want the success, you got to take the stairs to the top. Bring the problems. That's the question that we have to ask. That's the dilemma, is our willingness to deal with the problems. Listen, I think today's show is awesome. I think we're set up for a wonderful journey with this show because I got a lot to offer, a lot to give, and a lot on my mind and a lot to share. Thanks for clicking and tuning in. Hey, if you found any value in this show today, I would tell you to share it with a friend. Tune in when you get a chance. I'm looking for a schedule that's going to be regular. I think we're going to be here probably 3 times a week. But I got a lot to share with you. So go ahead and subscribe, like, if you will. And I'm going to see you guys on the other side because I want to give a shout out to all the future subscribers. Shout out to all the people who are going to be looking for the problems this week. Shout out to all the winners who know within their heart that they've been designed and created to do something special. Listen, I can't wait to see you win. That's what this is about. I am on my way, and I know you are too. Anyway, this is Carl Latting, the lifestyle architect. I am out.